Greetings and welcome back, one and all, to From the Depths, where we're just a tad too low down. Let's lift the fortress just slightly so that our deck isn't flooding. There we go. Now our engine will... There we are. It's calmed down again. As you can see, I've done a little bit of work. We have prepared this area for a copy of that missile system. This missile system has changed quite dramatically, in fact. It doesn't just look better. It is actually ready for a change at the very least. Now, the very astute among you will notice that the missile system has actually moved slightly as well. It used to be a little bit further forward, but I've pulled the whole thing back just so the tapered shape looks a little bit more sensible now. But I'll be getting into how to do that because I used a slightly more advanced building mechanic using prefabs to move it around. But I want to address one of a big problem really with this missile system, and that is it's not particularly good at shooting air targets. So the first thing we're going to do in this episode, I know a lot of people have asked that I check out a flak cannon. I probably will, to be honest, but I'm not done playing with the missile system. I think we can get this to work for us. So I need that to lock there. There we go. So first, we're going to adjust this missile system. And I've changed this area with a mind to expanding the missile system out. That's why I had to move this back, is because I'd made it a little bit too front heavy when I expanded this area up. Right, there we go. First and foremost, let's have a think about what the problem was. From what I could tell, part of the problem was that our missiles couldn't keep up with fast-moving targets. Another part of the problem was that they were getting close, but they weren't exploding because they couldn't get a direct hit. Now, there is a way that we're going to be able to fix this. First and foremost, to fix the speed issue, we're going to give it another engine. We are not, however, going to give it more fuel. So what this means is it's going to burn through its fuel twice as fast as previously, so we're going to adjust the range on it to compensate for that. Next, I'm going to put a fin here, and we'll have another fuel tank, then another fin. So we've got two fins, so it can turn a little bit faster. The next thing we are going to have, I'm going to go with fragmentation warheads on this one, so we'll go with 2 there. Now, following some advice in the comments, I'm going to stay with my 20-degree fragmentation warhead, but I'm going to have a second one at a much wider fragmentation degree. We're going to go for, let's say, 75 or roughly. I really wish... Oh, actually, bang on. I really wish this was a little bit more accurate, though. So we're going to have one that can explode at 75 sort of cone angle of the explosion, so it's going to cover a larger area. So if it can get near enough, it can maybe the first couple will do superficial damage, but maybe nick the wings, slow it down slightly, so that the next the following missiles or the next volley will have an easier time of getting a direct hit. Now, part of that is going to come from a proximity fuse. Now, with the proximity fuse, I'm going to say range of 5. I'm assuming that's meters, and I'm assuming these cubes are 1 meter cube. Now, I want this to explode with a forward angle of about 60 degrees. Now, the reason why I'm setting that to 60 is that 60 is less than 75. So if the fuse triggers, if it explodes, it's because the second warhead, the secondary warhead, can do damage to it. Maybe the primary warhead won't. It'll miss because the missile is just not pointing at the right direction. It's just going to miss it, but the secondary one will do that little bit of damage and will slowly, hopefully, fingers crossed, start to wear down the flyer's ability to stay in the air, or at least to be as maneuverable as it was. And once that happens, the rest of the missiles will be able to do some more damage. And then finally, of course, we will stick with the infrared seeker, I think. So we're going to set all of that up now. That should be completely reset. That is fantastic. The next thing we're going to do... actually, I don't need to do that because I left a little hole at the back there. So I can control this, or at least I would be able to if I brought the focus backwards. There we go. That's still on 2. That's good. Now, the other thing, I've made a little hole in there so that I can access this as well. Though I need to come out of building on the turret to do that. So we're back to building on the hull itself. Now, as I was saying about range, currently we've got 850. I'm going to drop this to a little bit below half of what it used to be. We're going to drop this to, let's say, 350 or thereabouts. Additionally, one of the things we noticed was that the explosions were sometimes... the missiles were firing at some things and just not detonating, just bouncing off the hull. And I believe that's because of the safety fuse. Or at least the safety system on the AI wasn't allowing the warheads to arm because they were too close to us to be certain that it wouldn't damage us. So, I'm going to give this a minimum engagement range of about 40 meters. It's not going to try and launch its missiles at anything closer than 40 meters or anything further out than 350. So it's got a fairly... Well, maybe we could increase this up to 370. It's got a fairly narrow window of opportunity to engage, but when it does, hopefully it's going to be able to do a remarkable amount of damage to what it actually hits. Now, I have built up this area over here ready to accept another one of these, but given the amount of metal that's involved in constructing this, I think it's like about 11,000. In fact, there's a very easy way of us finding that out. If we go back to editing the turret, we can save it as a sub-object, which we're going to do. I've already saved it, but for the purpose of demonstrating, you just click on it, double-click, new module. I'm going to call it the Air Defender. There we go, and save. Now, the Air Defender costs 10,000 metal, 2,000 scrap, 3,556 natural, 60 oil, and no crystal. It is an expensive thing to build, so it's going to be a little while before we can build another one. But that's fine by me for now, because I've got other things that I would like to do. Let's go back to building on the hull. Now, first, we're going to have to make some adjustments. I'm going to be replacing some of this. We are going to be replacing quite a lot, in fact. Let's keep going. No? Okay, well, if you press middle mouse button, you enter permanent remove mode, which is very, very useful to get that sort of stuff done. We're going to build this out like so. I want the... Oh, no, not metal. I want wood, thank you. I want the alloy that we had there. I really should have been doing that in... Damn it! I should have been doing that in mirror mode. Alas, I forgot. As always I do. Right, there we go. Let's get this built out there. And 2 more of these. We will also delete all of this as well. This time I will go into mirror mode though. Get rid of these ones. Now, it's unfortunate that I'm having to do this. On the plus side though, wood is actually reasonably protective. I mean, the main thing that we need to protect from are on the edges, on the outside edges, not on the inside edges. So I'm hoping that this will still be okay. We'll see. And we just want a few wood blocks in the middle there. Okay, now, I wanted that metal not to build the missile system, but to expand our engine. It has been a long time coming. So we're going to delete a load of this, and hopefully we'll be able to set up the engine to be much, much better than it was before. There is a slight problem with that though, and that is how to edit an engine that is already running. I'm not entirely sure that this is going to work without causing something terrible to occur, but oh well, we are going to need to try, and hopefully it won't break. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this all the way back. Actually, let me just try and work this out. We've got a carburetor cylinder. Okay, this would be a cylinder here, carburetor, cylinder, right. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to put the engine there. It's not going to be able to do a bloody thing because it's not hooked up to anything. We're going to grab the crankshaft and everything is about to break terribly. Let's hook everything up quickly. There we go. Right, we've extended the engine. Quite a lot, in fact. Current maximum power is 595. I think we can improve on that. Quite a lot, in fact. So we're going to start by getting rid of that. At some point, I'm going to come down here and replace all of this floor with metal. But right now, I think we need to focus on other things, honestly. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the carburetor. I'm going to get rid of the exhaust stack on the bottom 2 cylinders. And I'm going to replace that with a new carburetor. So that's going to hook up to the superchargers, I hope, and to the cylinder there. So we'll do that again, and again, and again. And now we can put some more superchargers on top of these ones. So hopefully we will end up with a much more powerful engine. Now, I'm not sure if I can have that fitted on the outside here as well. I'm really not sure with that one. Let's have a quick look at what sort of output our engine has. Currently got a max power of 686. Okay, if we add another 2 superchargers, will that change it? Let's go back and have a quick look. It looks like it has adjusted. Yeah, 706. So we're going to add a bunch more superchargers onto this then. There we go. Now, listen to that engine purr. And that's just with changing what we already had. We are going to expand this quite a fair ways backwards. So, the way we're going to do this, to save time, we're going to use prefabs for this. Now, that's different from the sub-objects. Let's get rid of the mirror line for now. The way you use prefabs, and I've already been playing around with this just to get the hang of it. You start out with a bunch of things, basic heat-seeking missile and things. We're going to go with this engine module. Now we're going to wipe this so that we can start again. We'll use the same name for it though. Now what I would like is for this to be only 2 long. Now there's a reason for that. Basically, these are going to be modular, so I can place this down, and then I can place another one beside it, another one beside it, and it's going to have the same pattern going all the way along. But effectively, you can adjust the width, height, and length, and then you can move this block around, and once you're satisfied that it's covering what you want it to copy, left-click. There you go, that has now been assigned, and we can, if I hold shift and right-click, left-click again, it should place more of it. Listen to the engine. And again. And have I got enough metal again? Yep. Oh, this is great. This is really nice. And again. And we don't quite have enough to do it once more. I guess we could. And listen to that engine purr. It's got a maximum power output now of 4,782. I could pull this all the way back here if I really wanted to at this point. I'm not sure I do. I've got the metal for it, I guess. No. No, not just yet. We'll just finish this off the way that I've got this set up. We'll just mirror the design we've already got going, and we'll be happy with that, I think. Let's grab exhaust there, superchargers, another supercharger, and another exhaust. Oh, what? Why? My keyboard running away with me. There we are. And in fact, I can put another little exhaust there as well. And there, I didn't even realize that. That's a good point. And one there. Okay, there we go. This engine is pretty powerful now. 6,519 maximum power. We could probably push this quite far up. The fuel use per power usage, quite a lot though. That is a really bizarre number. Okay. Let's see. How is our fuel store doing? We could add more of this, but I'm pretty happy with what we've got. Okay. Now then, we could probably afford to have this quite a lot higher up as a result of that. We don't quite have enough metal to do everything I wanted to do, but we'll start work on it. We want to protect this area for one. Also, I'll leave those there for now, but eventually I want to get rid of those fortress turbines underneath there. There we are. And this will allow us to have a nice bit of protection for this part as well. I should have left the mirror line. Why did I take it away? I'm an enormous derp. I must have something against mirror lines that I just don't realize. And no, come back. Come back one more. There we go. In fact, let me get in close so I can see what I'm doing. And back along here. There we are. Right, we'll add some metal blocks going up. The main thing, I just want to protect the engine from immediate attack. I don't really care too much about setting this up exactly the right way, I say, as I'm starting to count out the windows. No, I've gone one too many. We'll come back over there then. There we are. Perfect. But the main thing is really just to make sure it doesn't get shelled by any attackers. Oh, have I not done that correctly? Oh no, I have, apparently. Doesn't look like it, but apparently it is correct. There we are. And now we just need to fill up the top to make sure that we don't take any damage from any crazy strikes. And of course we run out of bloody metal. Arr! That is frustrating. That is hugely annoying. We'll have to use wood for now and then just replace it as and when we get the resources to do so. That is pretty annoying though. We'll just bring this across the top as well. There we are. Right. Finally, we are almost finished. That is not quite right, but it'll just have to do. Since this will all be replaced by metal beams once I've got the resources anyway. Okay, so our engine is bloody enormous and is pretty awesome. In my opinion, I'm very, very happy to have finally fixed it up. Get that one done. That means we are now going to be able to start... Well, I'm not sure. Would we be able... we could probably hover quite high up right now. But I think it may be a little bit premature to start entering zones flying. We could give it a try. Oh, and before I forget, someone did mention that these do nothing and I should just delete them because radars hit your FPS a fair bit with that ping animation. And of course this as well. Right now, with the AI being basically omnipotent, they serve no purpose, but once they're added, I will keep this tower here just in case they get added in the near future. And these will obviously be staying because they help me see where things are. So all things told, pretty happy with the slight changes we've made. I'll get rid of you in a moment. I would very much like much more metal though, so I can build another one of those. Now, let's have a quick look. Are we about to be attacked by anything? No. We could... Oh, I don't know. It's a 30 strength fleet over there. I could go and attack them. I'm tempted to. We'd probably be able to bring in a fair bit of resources if we did that as well. No, let me in. I think maybe we should. It could be a big mistake, but at the same time... I'm really, really tempted. I think I'm tempted enough. We're going to go and see if this missile system and this cannon can handle a strength 30 fleet. And we can take another resource zone in our name. Yes, let's go. And then I'll probably wrap up this episode. And in the next one, I think the last thing I really want to do on the fortress is adjust the torpedo system. Just to rebuild that slightly. And then we will start work on some fleets of our own, some proper fleets. Right. Cannon, can you begin attacking? No? Okay. Can we go up into the air? I really should have flown in. In fact, I'm going to go back to another zone and then come back. Be right back. Let me see. Fortress, let's move you into the resource zone and tell you to spawn in the air. Please don't break. Notice that the engine wasn't going crazy that time. We entered in and the engine was just happy. We'll see if that is the case when we spawn in the air. We've got no power. Okay. Very well. We are not yet able to spawn this high up. But no shit. Okay, we're going to quickly depart. It was worth the test. But clearly we need a lot more power or a lot more thrusters to be able to spawn that high up. Very well. I accept. We'll do that later. But for now, we'll just spawn on the ground. Ah, crazy sounds. Why? That was painful. Let's lift up a little bit. In fact, we should be able to just watch how high we can get. Whilst the AI is driving us towards the resource zone, we'll just lift up. You can do your own thing, cannons. Oh wow, look at how quickly that power is getting depleted the higher we go. Probably won't last long. No, not if it's going down that fast. Goodbye, torpedoes! Enjoy your swim. Though, that said, we weren't far off, honestly. We are stupidly high up now. Let's go and have a proper look at this. Oh, look at that. That engine has made a hell of a difference. Let's continue to rise. That's right. Let's get it up there nice and high. We'll take this up until we've got about 1,000 power remaining. And that is kind of awesome watching those torpedoes being deployed like that. But yeah, that just falls really fast. Okay. Though, on that note, if I fall off this thing, I'm not going to be able to get back on, I don't think. There are quite a few enemies. We're engaging 7 enemies in this zone. All of them are ships, though. So we are probably going to be able to win this, I imagine, without too much trouble. Especially with that cannon able to lay the smack down the way it does. So I do wish it was a little bit more accurate. There we go. There's one down. And which one are you going for next, then? Also, where are those torpedoes going? They look to be going for one of the distant fleet. It's that we've got to worry about. That looks like it could do a fair bit of damage itself. So, yeah, let's try and make sure we take these guys out before that thing gets close enough to really mess with us. Oh, no, never mind. Looks like it's just lost all of its ammo. I spoke too soon, apparently. I've also received comments on my torpedo design, and that's what we're probably going to be working on in the next episode. Just getting the torpedoes a little bit better, ballast tanks and that sort of thing, to make sure that the torpedoes spend most of their time in the water rather than surfing on the waves the way they do at the moment. Also, the ability to turn and even magnets to try and help them connect with their targets. Really, cannon? Come on, you can't be that bad of an aim. Looks like you're doomed, though. No, you've luckily avoided it. Damn it, stupid torpedoes. But we are doing quite a lot of damage to these ships over here with the torpedoes that we've got in the water, so it shouldn't be too bad for us. The main thing that we've got to worry about is, as always, planes. And at that range, my cannon is incredibly accurate. I would be surprised if you can survive there for very long. There we go. Wow, that thing is accurate when it wants to be. But our torpedoes are going to finish this fleet off long before we have to worry about it. Wow, we're almost at a negative 100 with the Deepwater Guard. It's their own fault. They attacked us first. I mean, we would have eventually attacked them, but they did technically start this fight. I'm liking that that cannon is focusing on the closer targets. Because honestly, there's really no need for it to worry about these things with those torpedoes in the water. There we go, 98.8. We're quite friendly with the white flares and the Onyx Watch. That is going to be useful. Someone asked if I could have just hung out at my allies' lands. I think I could. Once they're friendly. Oh my lord, what just happened there? Why are things exploding all over my ship? Something bad just happened. Oh no, never mind. My missiles, did they break my ship? I have no idea what went on over there. Oh, it's because that's so close. That's right. Okay, so it was trying to engage these, and they just ran out of fuel just by there. But they've got proximity fuses. They're trying their best, bless them, to get to this little guy over here. Well done, you. That's right. You might actually be able to do some damage if you can get it even remotely close enough. That is the proximity fuse that you can see there. The sort of area where it can trigger. They are actually really close. Come on, just a little bit further. You're so close. Never mind, there's more ships in the water, I think, maybe. Maybe not. I think that my torpedoes are just focusing on the other ones. But I might need to tell my missile system to fire a little bit later, because those missiles did seem to run out of power. Run out of fuel, rather. A little bit too early. I may need to address that. How much more damage can you take from my main gun? I can't imagine you can take that much more. A couple of people, actually quite a few people, have suggested I should build more ammo producers to try and help with the bottleneck of firing. That is not the bottleneck. If you look down there, I've still got over half of my supply there. It's slowed down because the guns can't pull ammo from the main stockpile as fast as they can spend it from their internal ammo stockpile. So each of the ammo boxes that I put on a gun is ammo that it will load slowly, but it will have as a stockpile of ammo that it can spend initially in a conflict. And as a result, you've got a very, very high rate of fire early on, and then that just tapers off. But this battle is pretty much decided. It was decided the moment I showed up, honestly. Let's be honest. And we've ended up with a reasonable amount of metal from that. Though a lot of it is being used to replenish my ammo stores. There we go. Pure hatred now. Pure hatred. They hate me that much. I'm not sure how I feel about that, honestly. I feel a little bad. Right, let me just get rid of you, because there's really no reason to have you there anymore. Alas. It was a nice idea, but until that actually does something, no point. So instead, let's get rid of this and just fill up the area that it once occupied. We'll taper this off, like so, and place a lightweight alloy beam in there instead. Or maybe not. Oh no, we definitely can. There we go. Perfect. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. We did fairly well. If we want to be able to enter the conflict flying, though, we're going to need more turbines, I fancy. Quite a few. And I've got an idea of where we could put those if we really wanted to. At this point, I'm kind of tempted to just connect the engine enclosure up to these side points. Have a little door there, maybe. And just have this all roofed off. That would actually be kind of nice. This fortress is actually starting to look like a fortress now, I feel. It needs a lot more work, especially on this gun, which is just still blocky, but I think we can work on that. But I'm not going to bore you by forcing you to hang around whilst I do that, so I'm going to do a little bit more artistry off camera. I'm going to finish off this roof section, probably finish up the door section there as well. And with this metal, I'm not going to shape that turret yet, but I'm going to replace as much of this wood down here with just regular metal, not lightweight alloy, but regular metal as I can, just to prevent any attacks from underneath. Because certainly if we are entering engagements in the air, that is going to be a little bit more of a concern. But we'll just have to see. But that'll all be for the next episode. I do hope you've enjoyed this one. We have taken over a new area for our cause. And actually, I'm going to head back to the main one. We're just going to hang out there since that's got a little bit more resources. But in the next episode, I'll probably be working primarily on the torpedo system. And once that is where I want it to be, we will move on to actually building our own ships. So we've got an actual fleet that we can send out to take areas instead of sending the fortress, so the fortress can stay home and gather resources. I think that would be grand. But as I said, that is it for now. I hope you've enjoyed. I hope you will join me for the next. But until then, and as always, do take care.